Personal prophetic dream, August 20th, 2025. Like, subscribe, share, comment, cause you're beautiful, that's why. So this dream I did not have last night. I had this dream a few days ago, and I don't even know why I delayed telling you. Oh, I do know why. I wanted the Lord to give me interpretation and bring more of the dream back to me. But this is about all that He's given me, and I don't think He's going to give me any more right now. Um, in this dream, I was homeless, and I was living. Um, it was in a big city. It was either Los Angeles or New York. I've never been in New York, and I was in different settings of homeless folks, mainly in different kinds of homeless shelters, and all of them, the conditions were completely inhumane. Like nobody would want to live under those conditions, but they expect homeless folks to. They were really bad, really really bad, the conditions, and it was interesting because one of the homeless shelters was connected somehow to this skyscraper, and this in this skyscraper, I guess there was an agency or something, people that were supposed to be doing something to help the homeless, and the homeless were only actually allowed in their lower levels, and I think they had to enter through the lower level because again, inhumane, and they don't respect them. So. Um, at one point, in this really tall building, they had some kind of a thing where, I guess it was one of the few things where they did that was kind of like actually helpful for folks who were homeless, and they were giving away gifts to homeless folk, and I don't know exactly what they were, but they were stuff that folks who were homeless would really need, and so it was kind of like a ceremony or something, and I was like, yeah, I could really don't ask me what it was, but I thought, great, I hope I get something. And so I asked this lady as she's I think these gifts are wrapped as they're preparing to give them out, and she says no. She says we're not going to give you any gift. She says, I know that God has his hand on you and that God himself is taking care of you. So you don't really need anything that we have to offer you. And so we will not be giving you a gift. And so that dream is pretty, for the most part, it's self-explanatory. I have been homeless. I've been homeless on the street as an overt TI. The way I lived was pretty inhumane because I wasn't able to access really any of the services that most homeless folks could access, or at least not all of, most of them I wasn't able to access. And the Lord has me, just like in this dream. The Lord has me. He has me in his hand. He's taking care of me. He will meet my needs. He is meeting my needs, and he is doing a phenomenal job. Lately, the Lord has given them some okay, and he's confirmed it with me that it's his will. He's given them some ability to interfere with my sleep. And God's word in let me pause this, y'all. So I'm reading from Psalms 127, verse 2. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for he gives his beloved sleep. So, for the first time, the Lord has at least for a couple of consecutive days allowed them to interfere with my sleep, and this is God's will. And He's making me still be productive. I am getting some rest, but I'm not actually getting enough sleep. And He's weeding things out of my life, like this weird habit I used to have that I'm hoping He has erased, in part through allowing me to suffer a little, of filling cups to the brim. And it's a lot of times overfilling them, and then I have a mess to clean up. I can't just pour myself a drink like a normal person, leave it maybe an inch from the rim. So suddenly I had the ability to not do that, and I'm a little sleepy and whatnot. So I'm like, wow, so God is using this to purify me. This is temporary. I don't know how long the Lord will let them interfere in my sleep, but as long as I trust him, don't get bitter and angry and against him, which I don't have any reason to, given the fact that he's letting me get sleep. I'm getting some sleep. And in between, I'll get rest, but they'll be hitting me with DW. So just as I fall asleep, it makes me wake up, and I have to um, just meditate on the light and love of the presence of God and get as much rest as I can. And I just did that for a little over an hour. I'm going to get some more studying done. But in that personal prophetic dream, yeah, the Lord has me. The Lord has me in the same way that He's. It's funny because I got this dream the same day that the Lord allowed them to interfere with my sleep, which was about 3 days ago. And just like this lady said, she says, we're not going to give you any gifts. We're not going to bless you or give you any of these gifts because we know God has his hand on you and God is taking care of you and God gives you all that you need. So we're not giving you any of this stuff. And that's the case here. God has his hand on me. And sometimes it does mean he gives them a little bit of permission to attack me a little bit more, to help purify me a little bit more. But it's rare that he does that. But he's definitely sustaining me, and I don't feel angry and bitter, and he's helped me not to get angry and bitter just because I'm not getting my way and I'm not getting as much sleep as I want to get. And he's still giving me, like I said, allowing me to be productive and purifying me. Finally, this whole issue with pouring drinks in cups, I hope that the Lord is resolved this because it creates problems. You don't want to make a mess every time you're trying to pour a drink potentially, right? So I send out my love to all you beautiful born-again TIs. I love to recommend pay your tithes and offerings. Help the poor. Tithe your time to the Lord through prayer and reading his word. 2 hours, 24 minutes a day spent with the Lord in prayer and reading his word. Today, mines were 2 hours and 57 minutes. And that's really not all of the prayer because I've done a lot of meditation and some prayer as well beyond that. And tithe your time to the Lord. Every time you get money or resources, help the poor. The Lord will work for you, and he will make this program little more than a minor annoyance. And most of the time, this program is not even a minor annoyance for me. It's just something that exists. It's not a big deal. I send out my love to all y'all beautiful born again TIs. God bless.